Growing up on the farm in Nebraska, one of my dreams was to go to Africa with my Uncle Dave, who was a medical missionary. I didn't, but the idea of being a missionary has stuck with me. Hello, I'm Barbara Hemphill. When I started going to people's homes to help them get organized, I often prayed that my clients would feel the love of Jesus through me, whether I ever mentioned his name, which I rarely did because I was afraid of offending them. As I moved into the realm of business organizing and the world became more insistent that we be politically correct, I became even more afraid. But celebrating my 70th birthday gave me a willingness to risk that I never before experienced. Now that the world is facing a situation like none other we have ever known, I feel more than willing. I feel compelled. Clutter is postponed decisions has been the foundational principle of my business for 40 years. Ironically, in my experience, the most common cause of postponing decisions is fear. Fear of making a mistake, fear of being irresponsible, fear of offending someone, fear of forgetting something, or fear of wanting something back. In the book of Esther in the Old Testament, Mordecai challenged Esther to challenge her fear, risk her life and her legacy with no guarantee of a positive outcome. I believe that is what God is calling me to do. I just finished reading a newly released book by Dr. Michael Youssef entitled Saving Christianity, The Danger in Undermining Our Faith and What You Can Do About It. He describes how the faith which my parents taught me has been watered down through the decades in order not to offend anyone. And as a result, the world, and America in particular, has lost its moral compass. I regret that in the past I let fear prevent me from saying what I believe. But I take comfort from the words in Lamentations 3, "The Lord's loving kindnesses indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." So why am I writing this in a business blog? Because I believe that God created every one of us for a purpose. In several conversations I've had with people who have lost their jobs or their businesses and are trying to figure out what next, it is evident that the first step is to clear the clutter. Clutter comes in many forms. In one webinar I attended today, totally unrelated to the organizing industry, several people talked about the challenge of working at home with piles of paper scattered on the table where they were also eating. Virtually everyone has been complaining about email for years. With the necessity of virtual working, digital clutter threatens to overwhelm even the most organized. Guest rooms, garages, attics, and off-site storage facilities contain physical clutter, which requires real estate for which we pay. Entrepreneurs struggle with the clutter of bright, shiny objects, which detract us, notice I included myself, from focusing on the best use of our resources. So if you feel overwhelmed by clutter of any kind, where do you start? Ask yourself, what is one thing I need to accomplish in the next week? It matters far less where you start than that you finish what you start. In every organizing process, things get messy before they get better. That's not the time to stop. Research shows you are 76% more likely to accomplish a goal if you have an accountability partner. Find a friend or colleague and support each other. As you often hear in the Productive Environment Institute community, together we are better. Thanks for listening.